It's time to take a look at the all-new Polestar 3, a new electric vehicle here for you on Autogefühl with Thomas in 4K, full screen, full length. Let's go with this brother of the Volvo EX90, which will be kind of the 7-seater version of this one. And this one here thought to be a 5-seater version, but still a big, full-size SUV electric. Indeed. Here in the front, very impressive styling. Here you have this Thor's Hammer LED signature, and Thunder is the color, so yeah, everything with this Nordic scheme. And you can see here the wind or the air is being channeled right here. You can grab underneath here, and then it's going all the way across the hood. Aerodynamics, of course, very important, especially for electric vehicles, because when you think about motorway, Autobahn consumption, so above 100 kilometers or 60 miles an hour, 2/3 of the consumption is defined by the wind resistance. So even more important than for electric vehicles when they drive at significant speed indeed. You can also see this is like a smart zone sensor cluster, it says. So all the sensors are hidden behind here. Also here with the front camera. And you can also even get a LiDAR sensor for this one here. Let's take a look inside and the size. And the length is 4 meters 90 or 193 inches. That's about 14 centimeters or 5 inches shorter than the Volvo EX90, which just a little bit longer right here than for the 7-seater setup. Here the Polestar, they started as a performance brand for Volvo. Meanwhile, they are of course all electric. But the interesting thing is that this one here, the Polestar 3, will be less expensive than the Volvo EX90. It's also a very interesting proposition, right? Isn't it? All-wheel drive concept means one electric motor in the front, one electric motor in the rear. And you either get an acceleration figure of around 5 seconds, or here, with the performance pack, 4.7 seconds. Air suspension is standard, again with the performance pack. This vehicle is equipped with that one. The air suspension is a little bit stiffer, and you switch from 21-inch to 22-inch wheels, really massive. Wow, there's a very impressive design here. Really like the styling here overall. And in the side profile, sometimes the side mirror seems to be folded in. But that's a visual illusion because they are frameless indeed. And that looks very impressive, a very cool styling once again. Flat window line. So 10 years ago, this used to be a concept car design. Nowadays, it is reality. And then we have the rising shoulder line or hip line right here to form really, really strong hips standing right there to give you that full acceleration. Even the rear windows, by the way, are acoustic windows, so for even better noise insulation than especially on higher speeds. And higher speeds, the top speed will be 210 kilometers an hour or 130 miles an hour. Here in the rear, wow, what a modern, cool design here with the light signature. And also when you look at it here from the top, it shines through. So I really like this modern tech styling here of the Polestar 3. Then you can see also then from this perspective, you know, rather simple, clean, maybe even a little bit bulky design. But overall, I think design-wise, got at least my approval. What about yours? Tell me in the comments what you think about this new design. Naming-wise, by the way, this is very interesting. Polestar 1, Polestar 2, Polestar 3. Is there any logic as for size or vehicle concept? Not really, because they rather follow a concept, you know, like Apple. iPhone 1, 2, 3, 4, 14. And they also go just further with the numbers, like a new version of their brand. So there won't be any logical order. They just say the new car is again like one number ahead. Yeah, Michelle just commented from behind the camera. So when's the Polestar 3S coming out, or the Polestar 3 Max or 3 Plus? Yeah. So about battery and charging, the net capacity is 107 kilowatt hours. And what range will we get? Our first estimate is something around 500 kilometers or 300 miles as a realistic figure. Of course, in the driving test, we'll find out more. Recharging up to 250 kilowatt DC. And that's supposed to bring us then state of charge 10 to 80% in around 30 minutes. And they also check the box for bidirectional charging. So V2L, vehicle to load, or V2G, vehicle to grid, will also be possible. Do you see that? This will be a retractable towing hook because it does have some towing capacity. So 3,500 pounds or 2.2 tons. Yeah, it's quite reasonable for an EV. Let's make our way to the interior. Here, the door handles. They also give you some kind of feedback right here. Interesting. Door closing sound. Sounds quite solid. And here, this is, a very early vehicle. There are hardly anyone's build left, but this seems so far quite good, also from the gaps and so on. Then here on the inside, we have some fabric hues. Very nice integration here, also the Bowers & Wilkins logo. So this is kind of concept car-alike design, but it's not a concept car anymore. That's very interesting, isn't it? Then here also the interior with a clean Scandinavian style. We have the matte or open cell wood here, very nice, and once again fabrics, so there are not so many high gloss black areas left. There is on the steering wheel here, however, so this will then be illuminated with the functions, but it does give you some kind of feedback at least. Small digital instruments. Then the seats, they still are somewhat, I would say, Volvo inspired from the seat form. This is here the animal skin spec. However, they also offer as standard the so-called Microtech material, and the Microtech material is very interesting. It's animal free and also not based on any petroleum, but they use pine oil then for that seat together with some more recycled materials. That's very interesting and definitely also a way to go then. Steering wheel will always be animal free, at least that's what they say, and you can be sure when you go for that in the Microtech interior. Seating position here so far, it is kinda narrow, I would say. Also the front windscreen here really flat, so it doesn't give you much view to the outside. This one here definitely, also if you compare it to the Volvo EX90, gives you that sporty approach actually. So from the outside, definitely SUV-alike, but when you look at here on the inside and how the seating position is, definitely feels sportier than it looks from the exterior. The seating comfort from the ergonomics of the seat is actually quite decent, so we know this typical Volvo seating comfort, and that's also the same case here. To me, I think it's also more comfortable than in the Polestar 2. As for the headroom and so on, 1.89 or 6'2", even if the seat is in the middle position, there is some headroom left because this one here is a fixed panoramic roof, and that also ensures a lot of headroom. Here, this interior cockpit overview. Wow, once again, how clean everything looks. And here, with the matte wood styling, I really love that. And here with the fabric dashboard, sound system, Bowers & Wilkins. Once again, very nice design integration. Wow, I really love the cockpit styling. What about you? Tell me in the comments. 14.5 screen here in the vertical layout. As we know, with the Android Automotive integration, so a native Google Maps integration, we know that from the recent Volvo and Polestar models. You will also have a basic main menu right here. Once again, pick the Google Maps, and also, for example, Spotify integration. A camera will also feature this drone view from above thing, and it will also have the inbuilt Google Assistant, for example. As for the temperature unit, it will be placed in the lower part, and like this here, or you use it with the voice command. And this then here the levels for steering wheel heating or the heated seats, and also seems to be working parallel, also heating and cooling. Then here you can see nice visualizations for these air vents. And also interesting here, the Volvo or Polestar models, recent version with the Android Automotive system, they also have an inbuilt route guidance, which includes their charging stops. So the Google Maps system here then also just suggests like when and where to charge on the route. So indeed, all the EV factors, so to speak, they are ticking all the boxes here. Lower middle console here in this flying design with more space here, and then you have another space right here with these rubber bands and two USB-C chargers. The glove box will be released from the touchscreen, and then it will go down here. It's not possible here at this moment. And on top of the middle console, yeah, this is a big high gloss black area. You will still have this one button here for the sound and also for start or stop and play. This one here then, the cup holders, also adaptive style. And then you have some more space underneath right here. And inductive charging is right here in the front. Rear seating looks promising, and also look at the middle tunnel, of course using that all EV platform, so a flat bottom, that's of course way to go. Also at the inside of the doors and the rear, nice material use here on the top, again with fabric, so we don't have like a hard black plastic surface or something, so that's also cool. And let's see. As I said, the seat could not be changed in the front, but it was more or less okay from the length. So you can see here, there's also plenty of leg room left. You sit actually quite low in the rear here. See also from the angle of my legs. Wow, I mean, that gives you a lot of headroom then. So it's like, this is Michael Jordan proof here in the rear indeed. But you feel a little bit lost because you sit really, really low there. But it's not uncomfortable at all. By the way, in the performance pack, you also get here these yellow seat belts as an additional contrast. That's quite cool. Middle seating then is actually decent because no middle tunnel. It's a little bit stiffer than on the outside, but you can easily drive this vehicle here with 5 tall adults. And in the middle part here, we can fold down this. And then we have pushing here for the cup holders. Other than that, there will also be seat heating available here via touch for the rear seats and 2 more USB seat chargers. If you, by the way, wonder where this car is being built, so far in China, but by mid-2024, they will also introduce a manufacturing plant in the US in South Carolina. Did you wonder, by the way, since 1959, this is the introduction of seat belts, of these 3-point seat belts by Volvo. Trunk or boot with electric hatch and about 480 liters of space or 17 cubic feet. 90 liters or 3 cubic feet of that is underneath here. There is some space for a charging cable, but we cannot show that to you here today because they hide all the tech stuff. Is that guy watching? Are you still here? Yeah, but there's just, some tech stuff underneath, so there will be place for charging cable. So then 1 meters or 40 inches is the length here of the trunk, and the width here is a little bit more actually than 1 meter or 40 inches. So actually very good dimensions. I already folded 1/2 here of the seat, and here the height is some 65 centimeters or 25 inches, and you can see here this will be also fitted with a cover. And on the other side, on the right side, not sure if you can see it, this one will probably be then, like an element where you can also electronically fold the seats. So here we go, and the total length to the front seats is about 190 meters or 75 inches. And they also thought about a frunk, about 32 liters, so another charging cable or something is also fitting right there. So my verdict is a very hot competitor here in this big EV SUV segment, alongside the Volvo EX90, the, so to speak, internal competition. And we will keep you updated if you hit subscribe now, also soon with the driving review. And one of the big competitors is, for example, the BMW iX or the Tesla Model X. Check it out right now.